Michael?
Yes.
We touched base on at least one event that you admitted to.
You remember your rights, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about when you went in, I showed you the pictures for May 21st. When you went in, when you were wearing the blue shorts,
Yes.
the pictures that I showed you, we talked about that. There was a second incident that we kind of touched on. When you went in later, it was, I believe it was, they said, man, that was April 21st, right? You went in on May 12th. And this is the incident, you may not have been aware of it, but you were being watched by loss prevention.
What is that?
Loss prevention is like their security for like shoplifting and all that stuff.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? And that's what I want to discuss with you. It sounds pretty much the same thing. You came to Walmart from Havasu. You went into the store about at about 1 o'clock. And there was a woman with a small girl in a cart. Do you recall that situation?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's talk about that. Tell me about what you did that day.
That day?
Yeah. When you got to Walmart. Were you walking around, looking around like you said you were in the first incident?
Walking around. Basically.
Okay. So when do you see this lady and this little girl?
Pretty much when I first walked in, I noticed those guys. There was some kind of a display. I don't know what the event was, what the season was. Just seasonable items.
Okay. So were they the only, that lady and that little girl, were they the only couple that were in that area at the time, or were there more?
I think there was other people coming in. It was pretty much right at the entry of the store.
So what grabbed your attention about them?
I'm not real sure.
Okay.
You know, I just was just hanging out in that area, and
Another little girl that was between 5 and 10 in a shopping cart.
well, she was, and you know, she didn't even know I was there, and
You were by the beach towels, right?
I'm sorry.
You were by the beach towels.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah. Remember it now?
yeah, I do remember
Okay.
the beach towels.
And
What is that, security business for, or
what's this?
do they think I shoplifted or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
They recognized you from the first time that you came in
Oh, I see.
and did what you did when you touched yourself in front of that little girl. And then Grandma saw you in the wheelchair. Okay. They recognized you from that incident.
Oh,
So when you came in this time, they saw you and they watched you.
I see.
Okay. And so you're standing, and they watched you, and they said they saw you standing by the towels, watching this little girl and her mom. What were you doing?
Well, I was just walking around. I wasn't just standing there.
Okay. Well, were you doing anything to yourself while you're watching this?
No, it was right there.
Michael.
No, I wouldn't touch myself thinking that there was anybody around watching.
Michael, we already went over the first incident. You were clearly doing that on film. You saw people doing it, or people saw you doing it the first time. Now you're saying you didn't do it?
I'm saying that I probably did, but you know, if there's somebody just standing there, I'm not going to be fondling myself.
You gotta be kidding me. I just got done talking to you in our last interview where you were following this little girl around, touching yourself. And you were so focused in on her, you couldn't even see the grandmother who was watching you do it. You remember that part of the conversation?
I guess I do the conversation. I don't remember the incident. I mean, I just don't remember it.
Is it fair to say that you get tunnel vision when this stuff is going on?
I imagine.
Because you didn't see anybody around you watching you, but you also weren't aware that they have video surveillance inside of Walmart?
Well, yes, I am, and I guess I should. Well, I'll tell you what. I just that was.
You just get tunnel vision, right? You're seeing one thing and one thing only, and you forget about everything else that's going on.
You know, because that was a pretty stupid thing to do right in front of video cameras, for crying out loud.
Do you have children, Michael? Got a daughter, don't you?
How do you know that?
I told you, Michael, we don't talk to anybody without doing our homework. You got a daughter that's about, what, 42, isn't she?
That could be right.
Mm-hmm, it is. What would you say if I told you that we talked to Judy up in Boise?
Oh, no.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
It's just that she's just going to make, you know, things miserable for me.
You haven't been married to her for 10 years. How could she make things miserable for
Oh,
you?
you know, I mean, that's all she needs is something, hear something like this, and you know, that's not going to make my life go too well, for sure.
What do you think she would tell us?
Oh, I don't think she told me. I can't imagine because we had a good relationship, a healthy relationship, basically.
Why did it end?
Huh?
Why did it end?
Well, she claimed that I was a workaholic and that I didn't know how to have fun. And she became a born-again Christian, and she just carried it to an extreme. And so eventually, you know, she had to go her way and I had to go mine.
Your fascination with prepubescent girls didn't have anything to do with the
Now, she used
demise
to
of
give me
the
a hard time
relationship?
about having an eye for a pretty girl walking by.
A pretty 6-year-old, or
A what?
a pretty 6-year-old girl, or
No, no,
did you ever share that those fantasies with your wife?
no, no.
Did you ever share any of that with your daughter?
You know, Judy might have said something about my daughter. I've told her what I know about my daughter. That my daughter and I don't know each other, and never have. And as far as my daughter knows, I don't even exist. She thinks her father is somebody else. And
Is Judy not your daughter's mother?
no. No. Judy had, she had 4 kids, and the oldest one that actually her mother raised was living on the streets of Reno, Nevada. And he was an Aryan Nation gang leader, and he got into quite a bit of trouble and spent quite a few years in prison down there.
Did you live up in Reno area when Judy lived up there or not?
No. Anyhow, she asked me one day if I wanted to go save a life. And I said, sure. So we went to Reno, picked Skip up in Reno, and drove him back to my ranch. And
How many
yeah.
times have you gone to the Walmart in Lake Havasu and done this same thing?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so you just pick on our fair city.
Why here? Why Bullhead?
I was just, you know, get out of town for a while, and it's a nice roll up here, and, you know, I go over to Laughlin, to the outlet center.
You ever do any of this, any of those clothing stores over there? I know they got a kid clothing store over there. Just Walmart here? Or is there any other place?
I don't, I behave 99% of the time.
Well, it's that other 1% that's
I
gonna
know.
put you in prison.
In prison?
Go ahead and share with him, detective.
Looking at 7 felony counts of sexual indecency in public sexual indecency.
7.
Account for everybody that can be identified that was around at the time that you were doing this stuff. And we got plenty of names. Plenty of people who saw you, plenty of people who chose you picked you out of lineups.
The woman and her child that were in the seasonal item, that you were standing there near the beach towels fondling yourself, those are 2 victims. The woman and her 3-year-old child in the dairy aisle, those are 2 more victims.
The old lady and her granddaughter, those are 2 more victims. And then there's the loss prevention clerk who actually saw you with his own eyes and then later on video and saw the whole act.
So this means I'm gonna probably go to prison now.
You know what?
Have you ever done anything?
I'll do anything I can do to put you in prison. I'll tell you that right now. Because you have something that's not right with you. For a grown man to sit and say that he fantasizes about 6-year-olds, 6 to 10-year-olds, that's sexually deviant behavior. And after we interviewed the 11-year-old victim again this morning, another interview with her, and she told me in Detective English that she is afraid of you, that she has nightmares about you, and she was afraid that you were gonna grab her and do God knows what to her.
Oh, no.
You know what? My heart goes out to these victims. And unfortunately, and maybe I'm calloused, but my heart does not go out to you, because when I have a 3-year-old child telling me about the bad man, 3-year-old child shouldn't know about bad men right now. And you've obviously put yourself in this position, and so it's my goal, even though this is Detective English's case, it's my goal to make sure that you do go to prison and to hopefully make you register as a sex offender, because I think that we grabbed you at the tip of the iceberg. You were
Working your way up to do
one
more bad
step
things.
away from
no.
touching a child.
No, I would.
When you sit and fantasize about 6-year-old
no, I
female
don't.
children, that is
I don't sit and
sexually
fantasize.
deviant behavior. You told us 30 to 40 times you've done this.
Over
And I know that-
over my whole life.
For 30 years is how long you said you've
Right.
been fantasizing. And so I can
You've
tell
acted
you,
on it.
by 30 or 40 times, you've minimized it at least half. So, Michael, you know what? I try and have compassion for people that have problems. I really do. You know what? I can understand somebody that murders somebody else. I can't understand a grown 65-year-old man fantasizing about a 6-year-old child. That just does not register with me. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. And
You said it wasn't the end of the world.
Well, Michael-
End of the world for me.
Well, Michael, listen, you know, it's not just the fact that you're fantasizing about this stuff. I mean, that part's bad in itself, but it's the fact that, you know, I've discussed with you the progression of this whole thing. You've progressed to the point where you've been acting on it for the last 30 years. You have.
Oh,
You admittedly say you have.
It's getting.
I don't know where in your
less
mind.
And less.
So we
For
should,
the last 11 months, I had two days.
so do you think a guy who does what you do should be able to just wander around in society, walk around in Walmart?
I think it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. I
Do you
agree.
have any tattoos or anything on your arms or upper body?
No,
Why do you always wear a long sleeve shirt?
skin cancer.
You don't worry about skin cancer on your legs?
No. No, I worked for 35 years out in the
And obviously you don't worry about skin cancer on your penis because you have that coming out of your shorts, right? So it's just on your arms. Don't tell me to come on. You know, you're the one that's running around Walmart with your penis hanging out of your shorts. You know, don't...
And the thing that gets me about this, Michael, is you know it's wrong, but yet you continue to do it. And even though you say in your mind, and all you've been doing with us this whole time is minimizing everything. You've been trying to make everything so small when you know it's not.
Well, the deal is I've been here 13 months and I had 2 days that you witnessed, and that.
And in 2 days you racked up 7 felony counts. So, you know what? You can't minimize this and put it on everybody else, because I'm going to tell you what, a 6-year-old girl or a 3-year-old girl does not flaunt themselves in front of you. This 11-year-old girl that you followed around, that you were within 8 feet of, picking up clothes when she turned around and looked at you, and she saw you fondling your penis on multiple occasions in one short trip to Walmart for her. And you know what? She doesn't want to go back. She doesn't want to go back. And you told him that he's not welcome back, right?
Not yet, but I'm sure he knows by now. You're trespassed from Walmart, and that probably means every Walmart on the face of this planet, because that's usually how it works.
And you know what? Honestly,
You
we don't even want you back in Bullhead City.
Okay.
You know what? Stay in Lake Havasu. If you got to go show your penis
I
to
think
people,
that,
then you know what? Do it at home. Don't bring
If I
that
think
kind
about
of
it-
activity here to our city.
Okay, ma'am.
We pride ourselves in keeping this city a safe city.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're bringing badness to our city
Okay.
because a
I
3-year-old
apologize.
told us
I'm sorry.
that a bad man was here. So,
All right, Michael.
So 7 counts.
7
against me.
class 5 felonies.
7 class 5s.
And how long in prison would that be?
That's, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Are they gonna let me go home before?
I don't know. That's up to the judge. You'll go over the hill. You'll be booked into Kingman Jail, County Jail, and you'll be held until at least the morning. You'll see a judge.
Oh, you mean I'm not gonna stay here tonight?
No, this isn't a holding. This is only a temporary holding facility. It's a processing facility.
How am I gonna get my car?
You'll go back up to, well, you could either leave it locked up in the parking lot, which I don't know when you're going to get out, and if it sits there for so long, eventually it's going to be towed. So, either that or you can find somebody who can come and get it for you.
What about getting? I feel like if I'm gonna have any kind of chance of life at all, I'm gonna have a lawyer.
If you want a lawyer, there's phones in there. There's phone books. You can call an attorney. It's been your option this whole time. So, they will provide free counsel for you. If you can't afford it, I mean, that was explained to you in your Miranda rights. But that's where we're at. I mean,
I can't believe that.
just got to keep it in your pants, Michael. That's all. You got to control yourself.
Yeah, we
All right, man.
said it was the end of the world, and it is.
Well,
the end of the world.
I mean, believe it or not, there's even worse out there. Here, take that and give that to Maxine. Max,